Welcome into another episode of Still Talking. We have got the one and only. He's a red, he's class, and he's showing Scousers how it's done. Jamie Carragher. Welcome in, Jamie. Thank you for coming.
Cheers, Ryan. Thanks for having me, mate.
Where I want to start is tell them it's your fucking last one, Jamie.
This is my last podcast. I've had enough of podcasts, especially on the 23rd of December.
That was you who picked this date, but I'll let you off. I want to go straight into it and say we were out Friday. It was nice.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable. We were inglorious. We were dancing. We were boogieing.
Some gaff, isn't it?
Oh my, the singing. It's just like, what's happening? This girl was just getting the vocals out and we were like, we were having beer. It was nice, and then we jumped down on the dance floor. And we were
in the VIP. I'm not a VIP area man, mate, to be honest. It's like, I'd rather be in the mixer. So we had a little go in there, didn't we, on the dance floor?
Your daughter was there, Moz was there, we were all there, the Still Gang. And then I was...
Am I part of the Still Gang yet? I mean, what have you got to do to be in the Still Gang?
You're in it.
Am I in?
You're in.
Official?
Yeah, I'd put you like CEO.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I'll put you like CEO. It's like the Still Gang.
I'm CEO of the Still Gang,
we were busting moves in the circle. And what? Can you remember what you said to me?
You're not still now. I wasn't that bevies.
No, we were busting the lawnmower and that, and you just looked at me and just went, "You're not still now, Ryan." And everyone just started laughing. It was great. But I just wanted to touch on that light art, and then I want to jump straight into Paddy. I was speaking to Paddy, obviously, about being a Scouser, and we were speaking about... Paddy the Baddie.
There's only one Paddy, yeah.
There's only one Paddy. And I was speaking to him about everyone's so welcoming and supporting, but he was talking about the jealousy and the hate he gets from the people he knows. And I just wanted to ask you, have you ever had that coming up into your success? And now, do you receive any of that?
He talked about like really close friends and families.
Just talking about just Scousers in general, people from your city, your home.
I think what you get is, I think the majority of people in Liverpool, and I class myself as the same as this, we love to see our own do well. There's no doubt about that. I think, as a city, because we get a lot thrown at us from lots of different people. So I think when someone does well, we want to see that. But listen, you're not everyone's cup of tea. That's just a fact. So just because you're from Liverpool and maybe you've done something or you're out there, you've got a bit of a name, just because you're a Scouser, not everyone's going to fall in love with it. And you might even be a little bit of, a little bit with me as, the red and blue angle. Maybe some Evertonians or something like that. But listen, you always get people, and also as well, you just get some people who are just bitter and twisted, doesn't matter where they're from, and can't see any good in anything. So, yeah, a little touch of it, but I would never let it...
Doesn't bother you?
No, it doesn't bother me.
No. I want to flip it straight away to your playing career, but I don't want to touch on it too much because I know you've been on loads of Anfield podcasts and Liverpool, and you've spoke about it 1,000 times. Well done on it. That's the only thing I'll say about your career. But one of the things you said is you regretted not living in the moment as much as you could have. I want to know, have you learned from that mistake right now, and do you live in the moment better?
I think I do live in the moment better now. I still have that thing of probably looking ahead a little bit too much. I'm always thinking, where am I going to be in 10 years? Or what do I want to do? What do I want to have achieved? Or where will I be living? And sometimes I think just for right now. But I am better than when I was a player. Because when I was a player, it was almost like, even when you'd won, it was always the next game. I've got to do better. Or can I do improve? Or,
do you feel like that? Like you're still in that schedule?
Yeah.
Because you're a pundit, you're still doing next game to next game.
Yeah.
You still have
that was more about like the team winning and performance and stuff like that. But I definitely, it's funny, when I was 40 and I had my birthday, and I always remember sort of thinking a few days after it, that almost like, now's the time to start living. I know it sounds silly, but I almost had in my head, right, I'm probably halfway through my life here. And you're working away, you've done your footy, I'm doing the TV, you're trying to make a few quid and all that. And I almost had that feeling of, now it's time to start spending it. Not in an arrogant way or a cocky way, but a bit like, just enjoy it. You never know what's
work so hard.
Yeah, but whatever, it's hard or whatever. I've had a little bit of luck, and with the football, doing the TV, being lucky, made a couple of quid. So you're a bit like, enjoy it now. Really, just
do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I do. So any chance I get now to go on holiday, I'm like, an international break now for me is that I've already booked it like months in advance. Nothing's getting in the way because I'm that busy when there's not, when the footy's on and stuff like that. So I am a bit of like, enjoy things now, go for it now. If someone asks you if you fancy a night out, it's like, yeah, we're having it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's have it.
Let's go.
We're in the Still Gang.
You can deal
We're going
with the
to Glorious.
hangover. Yeah. So I noticed there you said luck a few times. Do you think your whole life's luck, or do you not credit yourself for hard work? Because what you've done's boss. I wouldn't necessarily say it's all luck.
You know what?
Do you know something we don't, is what I'm trying to say?
No, I don't, but I'm because of my experience and where I've come from, how I've been brought up. One thing I would say that people in Liverpool don't like is big heads, and I am always, I'm very, I know I'm humble. I very, very rarely, if ever, talk about myself. And
coming on a podcast on the 23rd of December's humble.
Yes, it is. But I mean, I'm the CEO of the gang, aren't I? So I've got to come in.
Can't let us down.
But no, I do say, look, listen, sometimes, honestly, my dad or a couple of my mates say, you've got to stop speaking the way you do about yourself on TV. Or I always play everything down, but I don't think I'd ever change because that's the way I am. I could never go. There's nothing worse than anyone blowing their own trumpet. I'm sitting there. If I'm sitting next to someone and someone's talking about themselves and saying what they've done, I'm sitting there cringing, going, "Oh my God!" I always think that's for someone else to say. So whenever I speak about myself, football or TV, I always say, "Oh, I had a little bit of luck," and
Yeah, I noticed in that conversation then. But enough about you for a minute. I want to move on to your wife.
I thought you were going to say yourself there.
No. And I want to talk about your wife.
Go on.
And about living in the moment.
Go on.
The marathon she's doing, or she's done.
Yeah.
She's completed them. She's smashed them.
Yeah.
Was you in the moment for them? Talk to me about her. She's your partner in crime.
She's unbelievable. I've just left her. Do you know what our last conversation's just been?
Oh, I'm doing this podcast with Ryan.
Yeah. She said, "Why are you doing a podcast on the 23rd of December? Haven't we said that you do too much?" And I've got to know, there was the only slot. It's for Ryan. I said, it's not even my own podcast. I'm doing someone a favour. So I'm doing something for someone else. And she's having a go at me on the way out.
I'll
coming on this podcast.
I'll repay it. But she'll love me now because I've mentioned her. And, I probably...
Exactly.
Everyone always talks about your career, but I've mentioned your wife.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, she's an absolute superstar. So...
Are you proud of her?
Very, yeah. She probably doesn't realise how much. So I could not do a marathon. I'm looking at it and all thinking, wow. It's the training. I know how often she went out to do the training, and then she's just doing a marathon. And I'm just sat there. I'm walking around Chicago, Berlin. I didn't do the New York one. I couldn't get to New York, so Mia went to New York. But it's like a marathon's nothing. Just I'm doing them. So she was going to do the 6 major marathons. And then when we're halfway through, they've announced the 7th one in Sydney.
Oh, my God.
And that's on August the 31st, I think, which is the day before a birthday. September the 1st. So it's unbelievable what she's done. But she was always like a very fit and runner when she was a kid. And I always think that she feels that she sort of never went on to achieve maybe something that she should have. She's always really pushes me.
Why do you think she feels like that?
Probably because, I mean, she was someone who was on the stage like Mia was as a young kid, but we were in a position where we took Mia to Ray, we took her to London, we did all different things, was giving us much opportunity as you possibly could have. And I think if you're a young kid in Bootle, I mean, where do you go, what do you do? It's like, it's different with football because when if you get a talent, you're in Everton or Liverpool, it's on your doorstep.
Like the way you said Everton there.
No, but it is for I went to Everton for a little bit, so it's, what I'm saying is there'll be a lot of good footballers in this city who make it because basically Everton and Liverpool are on the doorstep. If they've got a bit of a talent, they go training there once or twice a week, and it's nothing really to do with the parents as such. And don't get me wrong, there's a commitment now with the academies. I know that in terms of taking them 4 or 5 times a week. But in terms of a young girl being a singer or an actress or
where'd you go?
Like exactly.
Where's the creative hub?
Exactly.
So it's quite interesting you said that. On the topic of your children and football, I want to touch on your son's injury. I feel like you've spoke about it, saying it was mentally challenging for you, and it was a lot to go through because you've obviously never had that serious of an injury to a point where you're like, oh my God. I've read a little bit on it. Can you just talk to me about how you felt in that moment when you found out to...
Well, what I would say first of all, it certainly wasn't as mentally challenging for me as it was for James.
Yeah.
It was tougher for him, and it wasn't so much for me. I was more just worried about him. And listen, you haven't got any kids, have you?
No. Too young. No. 22, too young.
Yeah. But you'll know what I mean when you have your own kids. It's just like they're always in the back of your mind. More often than not, they're in the forefront of your mind, but they're always at the back. There's always thinking, where are they? Let me just text them, see where they are. So they're always on your mind. And when they're not themselves, you feel it. You just want them to be happy. And it was just that, that thing every day of like an injury and it not working or not having the results that you thought it was going to be, or a training session, I can still feel it. It was just like, you feel like your whole day or your world had just ended. But that's the nature of
life,
of football. Life, you've got to keep bouncing back, and he has, and he's flying. He's
flying now.
Yeah.
Wigan.
He's at
the
Wigan.
Back line.
He's I think he's probably made about nearly 20 appearances halfway through a season. So if we can replicate that again in the following, that'll be almost 40 games in a season.
Amazing that. Congrats to him. What a lad he is, by the way, too. I've met him,
he is. He's a good lad, isn't he? Yeah.
I really, really like him. Just like his dad. Sounds
a pound.
Yeah. I want to just touch on the end of that and say there's a lot of young lads, a lot of young girls, a lot of young footballers who will go through what your son went through. But, not have a dad who's been in the football career and kind of not have anyone to touch on with. Is there any advice you'd give them? Because you've been through that with your son. Like, any advice, like if they were looking out for something or for help?
Yeah, no, I think the main thing is, what I learned is, as a parent, you're desperate to help your kids in any way, shape or form. And you're racking your brain with all these ideas that you can do. And you know what? There isn't a lot you can do, really. You've got to put your trust in. There are a football club, the physios, the doctors, someone doing an operation, but you're so passionate about them and whatever, you can almost let those emotions, you can get carried away with it. Override things, and you end up questioning people. And at the end of the day, you know what? The best thing for me is just take a step back from it. And you know what? I'm there for him, to support him. If he needs anything, but he's with the experts. It's their job and it's not my area of expertise.
So even though you had a full life in football and you're still in the footballing game now, you actually just stepped back and went, I'm there for mentally support. I'm going to emotionally support my son.
Yeah, that's all I could do. Because, to be honest, I didn't have too many injuries. I never went through what he went through. For me, injuries, I didn't have too many. And then when I did, I had the best. I was at Liverpool. I had
the best in the game to look after.
Yeah, exactly. So, so it was a completely different kettle of fish when you're at Wigan. So he's come through it now, and he's flying. Up. He's playing well. Yeah. So really proud.
Congrats to him. To stay on the footballing topic, I've got to mention today's game. Anything you don't want to speak about, I'm more than happy to. But Pep Guardiola, you described him as unsackable, but now with his recent form, is that still true?
I think so. Yeah. I think certain managers are like that. I think Sir Alex Ferguson was like that. I think Arsene Wenger was like that. Klopp would have been like that at Liverpool, I would imagine. Certain managers, they're almost bigger than the club in some ways. Brian Clough was like that when I was a kid. And they end up, Nottingham Forest ended up keeping him there. He ends up getting them relegated in his last season. But with Pep and managers like that, I think if this continues for a bit longer, don't get me wrong, I think Pep would be a bit like he'd probably walk away from it. I don't think he'd almost be sitting there, standing there thinking, oh, you can't sack me, I'll just stay here for another 3 or 4 years.
Do you think he'll walk away to not tarnish his own career, or to walk away to just like wipe his hands to say, like, I've done me role here?
No, I think he's in a difficult position, because I think if he walks away right now, he'll almost be seen as leaving City in the shit a little bit. Like
surrendering and getting off.
Yeah, a little bit like that. And I think that was one of the reasons why Klopp stayed last season. Because I think in Klopp's head, the season before, Liverpool had a really bad season. I think if Liverpool had had a good season, I think Klopp might have left that summer.
That's so interesting you've said. It makes sense too.
Yeah, but I think he felt, this has gone that badly, I need to fix this. And once he felt like he was in the middle of fixing it, the season had started well, it was a bit like, I'm leaving next summer. Now, I can see already.
He's got to fix it.
Yeah, and I think for Pep, I think he might do something similar to Klopp. I think what he'll do is just get to the end of the season somehow, and then it'll be right. We're doing some serious business. We've got to change X, Y, or Z. Right, is this team looking like it's back to where we want it to be? Yeah, okay.
I'm getting off.
And then I think he'd move away next summer.
I tweeted out on me Twitter saying, I just think City are getting beat this much, so the Premier just like, did you see it? Yeah. You didn't like it. You didn't like it.
I've got to stay away from all that type of stuff. I've got enough sets of supporters on my case.
Okay, we'll go to the other side of Manchester, and Rashford. He was the main guy. I don't know if he is the main guy anymore. If he leaves, where does he go?
It's a difficult one, that, because sometimes you can be on that much money that it makes it difficult to move.
Do you think that's a problem in today's game? The money? I know
yes
it's...
and no, because you know what? I'd never want to be seen as one of those players who says, oh, they earn too much money now, because players in the 80s were saying that when I was playing, and the players now will be saying it in the future. It's what it is. And you know what? No, because I would say 99% of players come from working class backgrounds, and if they can earn unbelievable amounts of money in a 10, 15-year period, as long as they treat it with respect and, you know, they look after the family and maybe set up a foundation, a charity foundation, give a little bit back. And yeah, you know.
You've earned it.
They've earned
it.
And if that's what other people are getting playing, you just get what market, the market rate is. But you just, sometimes you sort of see Rashford a little bit, and I know people say, it doesn't matter how they dress or what car they drive. It's just, but for me, sometimes little things like that does.
Does it bother you?
It doesn't bother me. I just think it's the perception. And I'm just thinking, if that was my player or if that was my son, I'd be a bit like, even though people might say, who cares what car he drives or how he dresses, what he does on the pitch. And that is right. But we all know perception is a big part of life.
Yeah,
you know?
and it threads through.
It does. And people get a sort of a feeling about,
it's quite interesting that you've said that, because I have a thing, like from when you were playing to now, do the players have that rivalry anymore? Like you see players on the camera, because there's cameras everywhere now. And my job's camera, you know, they're laughing together. Sometimes they're joking, and like, is that rivalry gone? Like Roy's one of your mates, he goes and speaks about in the tunnel, I was just staring at them and I was saying, you're getting it. Is there any of that anymore?
Doesn't look like, does it? But I think I could never speak to people in the tunnel before the game.
But now people look like the best mates.
Yeah, but then the flip side of that is when you look at England and you see how well they've done with England. So I think it's a lot of like, you know, with England, we play for England together. So they see each other in the tunnel, even if it's like Trent and Rashford or something in the past. And it's helped them England-wise, you know. So who are we to sit there? Because we were always spoken about that. We didn't have a real connection with the England squad because we were so fierce and so tribal with our own clubs. And I think the problem was when we were playing was I think that the main players, the biggest characters, maybe the best players were almost English players. So you think of sort of me and Stevie under Rafa, you think of John Terry and Lampard under Jose Mourinho, Rooney and Rio Ferdinand at Man United. I'm not sure of the but you think of those three teams, we were competing for the league, competing for the Champions League every year.
So when you went into that England camp, you were at each other? Do you reckon?
Not really. I wouldn't say we weren't at each other.
No, but I mean,
but
like,
it wasn't like a team the way I think it is now. Because I don't believe these England teams of the last few years, who have done brilliantly, by the way, are better individually than our players. They're just not. But they're a better team. And that's why they've got to two finals and a semi-final, I think. So, and we never even got, the most we got to was a quarter-final.
You're comparing your England team to this England team?
Yeah, I think the individuals for us were much better. But as a team,
I think you're spot on.
Better.
I think you're spot on, because them being more friendly and more, hello, what's happening? Even though Manchester United and Liverpool play, they're working better together. So it's kind of like, you know, the rivalry's going a little bit, more success is coming up here.
Yeah.
So if you were friends back in the day...
Would you prefer the rivalry?
I prefer the rivalry as a viewer, because as a fan, I love watching a Roy Keane slide through someone and smash him. I love watching that. Like yesterday, Everton-Chelsea, it was fantastic. Taki jumped up. I love all that. And I just think we miss a little bit of here and there. I think it makes the game entertaining.
No, I miss a little bit of that. I watched that game, Tarkovsky. He put a few big challenges in.
Exactly. It started getting like, it got the crowd up and everyone it was nice. It was nice.
Was there anything in it that you wanted Chelsea to score to put them top of the league?
No.
Good.
No. I've said to you from the start, I want Liverpool and Everton to do well because of the City. And you joke with me. And it's this. You get it though. Because if they both do well, the City thrives and everyone's winning then and we're all happy. Mums, dads, everyone. Speaking about Liverpool, you know, you can mention the three, Salah, Virgil, Trent. But I want to mention Trent to you. Jamie Redknapp said last night that you're really unfair for you hounding Trent really to say, stay at the club. I don't think it's really unfair. I think you understand, but I want you to tell me. Like, why?
No, you know what I think it was last night? I think there was a little bit of a mix-up in... I think Jamie thought I was having a go at Steve McManaman. who was Jamie's a good friend. He's a friend of mine, but he's a really good friend of Jamie. So I think he thought he was sticking up for him. I wasn't having a go at Macca in any way, shape or form. Macca, is arguably just behind Steven Gerrard in probably Liverpool's best attacking midfield player in the Premier League era, I would say, because I think even the Klopp team didn't have like a great attacking midfield player. So, and even the teams I played in, we had Stevie. So McManaman is one of Liverpool's best sort of attacking players. You probably didn't see him too much, I wouldn't imagine, but he's a great player, Steve McManaman, hence why he goes to Real Madrid.
And you think he just got defensive, thinking you were...
Yeah, I think he thought maybe I was having a go at McManaman or something like that. It wasn't that. My point being was that Steve McManaman, for me, is one of the greatest players to play for Liverpool in the Premier League era. But in the fans' eyes, he's not absolutely adored for their quality of play he is. And the reason that is because he moved on for Real Madrid on a free. Now, I'm not having a go at him for going. I'm just saying that's what the supporters feel. And that's what I think will happen with Trent. So then I think that just got lost a little bit in that. So I'm not having a go with Trent. I'm just saying, from Trent's point of view, he can do whatever he wants. But if he does make that decision to go to Real Madrid, that will affect his relationship with Liverpool supporters.
Yeah, you're basically warning him, saying, look, if you are going on a free, just be ready to receive a lot of heat.
No, but that might be fine. He might say, well, I'll prepare because I want to, broaden my horizons. I want to play for... Listen,
with Bellingham.
I want to play for the biggest club in the world. We love Liverpool, but Real Madrid are the biggest club in the world, most successful club in the world, and most players around the world want to play for them. And Trent might want to do that. Good luck to him.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it's when you finish your career, my point being was, it's almost about your legacy, how you're seen by Liverpool supporters.
You see that now because you're out of your career, and it might be hard for someone to see that whilst they're in the career.
Maybe, that's a good point, yeah. Yeah,
you see both sides of the coin, I think.
Yeah, I just think the fact that I'm probably the most Scouse of all Scouse footballers, whether you play for Everton or Liverpool. I am right in the heart of the city. I'm in the city centre most days. I mix with the lads who go the game home and away. I know what it doesn't mean I always agree with them, by the way, but when you're speaking to them about it, you get the general gist and feeling about how people feel, and that was my point. And Trent can still go to Real Madrid, and I'll absolutely say what an absolute legend he was for Liverpool, what a great player he was, and good luck to him. I hope he achieves everything. I just think
the media are pushing you a little bit to look like you're against them. When you're not, you're just trying to help him and show both sides of the coin.
Helping, we get asked questions on TV, and the thing about me is I'll always give you an answer. So I think the reason why the media, not so much push me, but I'm on Mail Online every day for something that I've said, and it's always been twisted a little bit because they know it'll get hit, because I will answer the question straight and I give my opinion on it. And sometimes Liverpool supporters don't like that. But that goes back to what I said to you about your social media stuff or whatever. You've just got to be yourself and don't worry about
because the minute you worry,
people and worried about the criticism people will give you, so you don't actually be yourself or you don't do what you want to do. Now, the big one of late with me was with Salah. I know I was right. I'm not sitting there thinking I was wrong because I'm getting all stick off Salah's fans on my social media. That would never make me change my view. Now, I've had people, ex-players, people in the media, people at the club saying, "Oh, you were spot on there." Now, but it's just that the certain people probably haven't got the bottle to say it.
And
because
can't say it, but but
the point being, sometimes people look at situations where you get asked a question or they do the job I do and go, "Oh, no, that might be one to stay away from." And sometimes you might be, but what I said wasn't wrong.
Yeah, like Gary saying £1 billion bottle jobs.
Yeah,
like,
but he was right on that one, wasn't he?
But someone would go, "Oh, nah." Yeah. But that's the beauty about it, and I think people forget sometimes. Gary too. Your job is to speak and to tell the truth.
Well, you can only say opinion. What you feel, and I always think if you are yourself and you give your opinion and what you believe in, you can always back it up. Once you start moving away from what you actually believe and start saying things to keep other people happy, that's when you get in trouble.
Okay, I've got a question. You don't have to answer it.
I will answer it.
Okay. Keep 2, sell 1. Trent, Virgil, Salah.
Well, we can't sell Trent, can't we? We can't sell any of them. They're all on freeze.
No, but if in a fantasy world,
that is a really difficult question. That. I've
got him.
You've got me
I've
there.
got him. You're going to see this on the Daily Mail.
I think that Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah are more important to Liverpool than Trent. as players, but they're 33.
Yeah, you've got to be real.
So what I'm saying is, I think Virgil van Dijk, out of all of those three players, is he more important? How can you say he's more important than Salah? I don't know.
It's hard, isn't it? Can you see all three staying?
You know what? It is a really difficult one to answer. But what I would say, I would say, if you're saying to me next season, who was I out? If I could only have two of them on the first day of next season, it'd be Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah in the team.
I feel like the whole ground's just shook. Like,
but I just think as well, we've got, if Trent was to leave, I think we've got Conor Bradley there coming through, and it's probably cheaper and easier not to replace Trent, because I think Trent's unique. I don't think there's any.
Yeah, I don't think there's many like him.
I don't think there's any. I've never seen a right back like him before.
Yeah. As a fan,
but
I haven't.
In terms of buying a right back, you'd have to go and buy a conventional right back, or you've got Conor Bradley there, or maybe backup for Conor Bradley. I think it'd be a lot cheaper than buying a top centre half, or a top, attacking right.
I get it. And on the whole thing of football, I want to go on rivalry. You can call him a work buddy, you can call him your best mate. Gary Neville does the overlap with him. Like, it's so interesting seeing you go from rival, talking about it before, in the tunnel, being like, you're a Man United player, I hate you, I'm going to smash you. So now you're kind of like best mates.
Oh, don't say best mates. Don't say that.
What would you say then? Like work buddy? What would you call him?
Football friends.
I've got one question. Does he really not stay up for the fireworks on New Year's?
No.
Oh my!
He is. I mean, I'm pretty organised and structured, but I can let myself go, as you see it in Glorious on Friday night.
You were just warming up, mate.
Yeah. But he is just like a robot. He has got his day planned. Yeah, he is mad.
What?
I say to him, "What's the end goal? What is it to be like?"
Exactly.
Because he's going on that Dragon's Den, and they're all billionaires, aren't they, or something?
But it gets to a point, and there's not. Like,
I know, but I'm a bit like. The point I got to at 40, when I had that thing in my head where it's like, right, now is the time to really start enjoying it. I'm not sure he's there yet. He's still. I'm saying, all this work you're doing in these hotels, and what's the end game? To retire as like an entrepreneur with like hundreds of millions.
What does he say?
I don't think he's got an answer for it. He's just so wired to be like, and to be fair, I like to be busy. I don't think I'd ever retire. When people talk about retirement, I don't think I'd ever retire.
I'll see you at 85 in
doing podcasts on Christmas Eve.
Eve. So it's interesting, Gary, and I'd love to get him in that position and talk to him. I thought
you were seeing him up for that, yeah.
But I've spoke to Kieran from the Overlap, and he just said the schedule's so busy, and I get it, he's a busy man. But what is this? I don't know.
He loves achieving things, but then he's not like, he doesn't bask in his own glory. He's on to the next thing. And what I'm saying is, we're both pretty similar. I'm like that. He's on another level to me.
Do you think you need to pull him aside and be like, this is what I was like in my career? You will regret it.
Yeah.
Come into the light.
Yeah. Get to Ibiza.
Yeah, come to Glorious. Come to Glorious. We're all chilling in the booth.
But I do think he does need to slow down a little bit and enjoy basically his life, his money, his family.
So Gary, if you're watching this, enjoy it and come on Still Talking Show. Only messing. I just thought it'd be funny. I want you to blind rank the Overlap pundits from 1 to 5. I'm going to do the list and you blind rank.
So what do you mean? I've got to be blinded? What do you mean? Go on, what?
I blindfolded Jamie Carragher. Funny that. No, I'm just going to say a name to you and you're going to rank them from 1 to 5.
Oh!
You thought I was going to blindfold you?
No, I didn't know what you were on, because I was thinking, I know who's on the show.
Yeah, so Jamie, what does this taste like? Okay, so I'll say the first name.
Go on.
And you've got to just put them in 1 to 5.
Go on.
Roy Keane.
1.
Oh. Ian Wright.
2.
Jill Scott.
4.
Paul Scholes.
I didn't know he was on it.
Yeah, I'm not going to put you on it.
Oh.
He replaces you when you're not there.
5.
Gary Neville.
3.
Wow, that's very interesting. So you're sacked in the morning because Gary's not won. You are sacked. That's done now. That was good, that though.
Yeah. No. I think Roy and Rice have a great combination.
Yeah.
I mean, Gary's let down. Gary can only. Where's the put Gary? 3.
3.
He can only go 3. I mean, those ads reads are just. I mean, he cannot be number 1 for the ads reads. Have you seen the ads reads?
Like Huel and that.
Honest to God.
Do you watch him do them?
Honestly, and you know the best thing about it was he says which is his favourite, and he says vanilla. And he's such a vanilla person, you know, just doesn't so boring.
As you drink
you know
vanilla
Huel,
and you don't watch the fireworks.
Yeah, exactly. It just sums him up.
Get a bit of flavour, mate. I've basically got some quick fire questions to end, and then we'll end on a finish. It's been a good pod though. I've enjoyed it.
It's gone quick.
12:50. How long we been, Dill?
Half an hour in.
Lovely that.
Just keep going till the next people come.
Yeah, we will. Would you rather win a Champions League but never be a pundit, or have your punditry career and have no UCL medal?
So you're saying, would I rather have be the pundit that I am now?
Would you rather win the Champions League but never be a pundit, or have your punditry career but no UCL medal?
Oh no, I'd rather win the Champions League. So I'd rather have won Istanbul, yeah.
Yeah, really?
Oh yeah. That's why I am a pundit. Without that, I'd be on LFC TV.
This second one. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Would you rather fight Roy Keane or have Gary Neville as your manager?
I'd rather fight Roy Keane.
Pep Guardiola or Sir Alex Ferguson? Who do you rate higher?
Oh, that's a great question.
No one ever asked you that.
Yeah, but you can answer it in different ways. I think what Pep Guardiola has done at Man City, I think right now is probably greater than what Ferguson did that in the Premier League.
Wow.
Not so much in the Premier League, at United. Because Ferguson, don't forget, he went 7 years without winning the league. That would just, Pep's been here 7 years and won the league 5 or 6. You know, it's just remarkable.
Man U fans are gonna love you.
Yeah. Oh, fuck them. Anyway, what else is there? But what Sir Alex Ferguson has got, who I absolutely adore, actually, even though he's a big rival, I admire him and so much respect for him as a manager. But what he did at Aberdeen. So the one thing Pep hasn't done, he hasn't won with an underdog. And that's what a lot of the top managers, other managers have, because they've had to get themselves to the top. Pep just went in at Barcelona. So Klopp had to win big at Dortmund. Ferguson, Dortmund aren't an underdog as such, but it was still a great achievement what he did there without the biggest money. And Ferguson did it at Aberdeen, which again, so I think if you're looking at overall career, I would say Ferguson.
Okay, over Pep. It's quite interesting. And just to, I actually don't want to end, I'll end it when the other guests come or the other thing. I just want to speak to you on a reel. I whispered to you on the night out. I don't know if you'll remember because you get bombarded. Yeah. And I was just like, I want to speak to you away from cameras, but I know there's 3 cameras pointing at us now. But what is it, Jamie? I'm going, I wouldn't say through what you've been through, but I'm building this public profile and I'm getting that thing of fame and getting great jobs. Hell, I'm sitting next to yourself. You're a very successful man. You're a Scouser just like myself. What advice would you give me?
Be yourself. Don't change. Don't get too carried away. But you'll have people around you to I'm sure keep you in good stead. But just be mindful of the fact you can't please everyone, and you want to please everyone because you want everybody to like you. We're all like that. And now sometimes, don't get me wrong. If someone has a go at you for something and they're right, or you have let someone down, or you should have done something, and you go, "Oh, no, you had the right there," and you think, "Oh, I won't let that happen again," or you make a mistake, or whatever it is. But sometimes when you know you're right, and someone might say something to you on social media, or something, but you think, "No, I was right there." No, so don't let that affect you. It's just a bit no, you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Be one of the lads, look after people. If you've got a few quid, make sure the lads or your family, you look after people. I think that's just a trait of people in Liverpool. But don't be obsessed what people think about you. Just be yourself, enjoy your life, help people when you can, and that's about it. But don't get too down or people. If you looked at my social media and what people say to me, honest to God, you'd never come out the house.
It's interesting because I look at you and you say like sort your mates and that. You literally, when people say bring up with you who you've been around, you literally do that. And I seen that Friday night. That whole VIP bit that you don't like was just full of your mates, your boxing people, your coat. Like, it was everyone. And you're looking after them by doing that. I'm not saying like you're taking care of them, but you're giving them an experience. You're being there for them.
No, yeah, but you know what? I went out. So that was Friday, wasn't it? The week before was the gym night out. That is my favourite night of the year. When there are tons of lads all go out, we go to the Irish pub that we go in town. Gloria's just round the corner, isn't it?
Yeah.
From there. So we go to Pogue Mahone's and I could sit there for a week. You know what I mean?
Jamie comes out, just normal Jamie.
Yeah, just James, actually.
James.
But I could sit there with the lad. I'm not one of them who wants to be with famous people and celebrities and being in different places and all. It's not my thing. It's nice when it happens, don't get me wrong, but I could sit in that pub in the middle of town with people from Liverpool, my mates from the gym, other people, and I love people from Liverpool and the sense of humour and the one-liners and the stories, and I could sit there all day.
I'm fascinated by you.
Good.
I'm just, I'm looking at you and just thinking like, it's interesting because you've got so much success. You've got a beautiful family. You're constantly doing what you love. You're doing what every person would love to do. You're living your dream.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I say that, you know, I'm obsessed with football. You know, I have been since, you know, the first time I can remember football is 1984, seeing Everton win the FA Cup. That's my first memory of
just
football.
speaking about it with Peter Reid and Phil Thompson on the stage.
Well, I was out with Peter Reid the week before as well. I was in everyone.
Have you had any nights off?
You know what? I love a night out.
Yeah.
I love a night out, but I'm not like someone who's drinking every week. So I can go like a month without going out. Something's got to be a good night for me. So I wouldn't just be like, oh, I'm just going to boozer for a few pints or something like that. It's like, right, we're having a night for this or whatever it is. So Peter Reid's one was a Q&A. I interviewed him and then we went out after it. The next night was the Rotunda night out, so we went out in town. You
don't have to tell me your night out. You turn off a work on time.
It's just this time of year has just gone a little bit mad, but then I'll probably go 6 weeks without having one.
Try
really,
January.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Are you proud of yourself?
Yeah, I am.
Because you always play yourself down, so I'm very interested in you as a person. And
yeah, but look, I would never speak about myself.
Negative, I know that.
No, I wouldn't. But what I would do is, if someone had a pop at me, or someone was like, I'm well aware of what I've achieved, I'm proud of it, but that's for me inside. It's not for me to speak to other people about, or to say it. If someone wants to say it about me, lovely, you know, nice compliment, thank you. But if someone was giving me a compliment, I'd be a bit like, oh, behave, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm proud. But if someone sort of was having a pop at me over something, or oh, you only did this, or you haven't done that, I'm well aware of what I've done. I am proud of it, but that's for me. It's not for anybody else.
This whole time I've been sitting down, I'm trying my best to read you and understand you as a person, because as much as you are online, not by choosing, it's just your job. But everyone, probably this podcast will happen, like a line will get took and it'll be the top of something. And it'll be Jamie Carragher said this, like...
Jamie Carragher said he's not wrong about Mo Salah.
Like, how do you feel every bit of your life is documented and that's it? Did you ever think that in your playing career?
No, you could never imagine how the world would go. But I mean, from 18, I scored on my debut for Liverpool. It was all over the back pages of the newspaper. So from the age of 18, so how old am I now? So I've been in the public eye longer than I haven't, if you like. So you get used to it. But listen, if I'm being honest, most of the time it's nice. It is nice.
No, it is 100%.
You know that's, you know, so when people say, oh, it must do your head in, or pictures or autographs and stuff like that. No. But I always say, when they stop asking, that's when you got a problem.
That's the problem.
That's when you've got a problem, when they stop asking. So, you know, so no, it doesn't, I'm fine, but I enjoy it most of the time. Now and again, it can be a bit of a pain, but listen, in the main, it's great.
What's the end goal for Jamie? You talk about Gary not having one. What's yours?
What is it? I want to be the best at what I do.
Aren't you already that?
Well, that's, if you think that, great, but I just want to be like, I love the fact I can look back at my football career and go, that was a good chunk of and I'm proud. I've got not many regrets. I look back and go, 17 years at Liverpool, 737 games. It's a good chunk of my life, a good thing, and I want to do that with doing the TV with football. Doing the best shows, Monday night, the best podcast. So I think I'm on the two best football shows in terms of Monday Night Football and the CBS show that we do that goes out in America, but you see the clips online for the Champions League. So I'm on the best show in the Premier League, the best show in the Champions League, and I think I'm on the best podcast besides your own on Stick to Football. I get stopped in the street by people about all of those three shows I've just mentioned there, and that makes me proud, but I want to keep going, making the best TV and keep pushing it to be as good as it can possibly be.
I find it so interesting listening to you, and this episode...
You find a lot of things interesting, don't you?
Yeah, I do, because I'm a young lad, 22, I've achieved what I've achieved, and I'm at the very beginning of it, and I find myself so lucky to be sitting here next to you to talk to you, but I'm reading your body language, I'm reading like the tick of the foot, the energy you're giving to me, and it's like, I feel like you're so tough on yourself, but the biggest success for you is loyalty. I just get that feeling from you.
Well, I once I'm in something, I'm in. So
that's what I get from you.
Yeah.
Liverpool, whole career.
Liverpool. I'll be at Sky. I'll end up being at Sky for 20.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't know, I'm just...
Same girl for 20 years as well.
This is what I'm saying. Loyalty is your biggest thing. You love loyalty, and you love when people show you the back.
Yeah. So you better start doing it.
I was in glorious partying with you. That's enough loyalty. This episode will be going out just on the brink of 2025.
Yeah.
New Year's. Have you got any New Year's motivation for anyone watching?
You know what? I find New Year mad.
Oh, don't tell me you don't watch the fireworks.
No, I do, but I don't really get it that much in that. For me, Boxing Day is my day to like go out and have a swag. I always go out Boxing Day.
Give me a text, let me know where you are.
We'll be in the middle of town, and we probably end up back in Crosby so we can get a cab home. But all the footy's on. You're out with all your friends and families. A few couples going out. We'll have a good time. New Year's Eve, it's not my thing. I don't really get it. My first thought is, am I getting home from town? I don't. People say to you, "How's your year been?" I'm always like a bit like, I don't know. It's only halfway through. I always go off the football season. So in my head, I'm not at the end of the year. I'm halfway through it. So it's like, I'm halfway through doing the TV, this season on football. Your school year's halfway through when you're a kid. So I can never get my head around New Year's Eve or this New Year's resolutions.
You and Gary are similar more than you think,
Yeah, maybe too much. Yeah, that's the problem.
He doesn't celebrate the fireworks and you don't like it.
I just don't...
get it?
No, it's not... I don't get the night out. I mean... No, it's not for me. I'd rather go out Boxing Night than New Year's Eve.
I might see it out Boxing Night, but...
Where you going?
I'm probably going to take my girlfriend out. I went out with the lads, Will and Riyadh, and...
He's back speaking now?
Me and my girlfriend. Oh, my girlfriend got a text. I showed Jamie the text my girlfriend got. At like 1 a.m. in Glorious. Someone was
I don't forget nothing.
Yeah, someone texted me and said... someone texted my girlfriend and said, you best dad watch what your fella's doing in Glorious. Ask him what he's been up to. I was dancing with Jamie's wife and Jamie's daughter, who Jamie's wife is both happily married to Jamie, and the daughter's with Cal, who's Will's nephew or cousin. But like, it was a troll account just trying to ruin my relationship for nothing. So I'll tell you a secret. The other day, it was a dad's birthday. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to get back whoever this troll was, who obviously jealous and hates me. I put a lovely picture up of me and my girlfriend with the red love heart, and I put linger over. If you, oh my God.
If you have to let it linger.
Yeah, exactly. And it was me and my girlfriend just like, kind of like pouting without anyone realising, basically saying to that troll, do one. But now the whole world knows now. The day that's still Ryan's with tea for you, but I appreciate you coming on today. Thank you so much,
mate. Thanks for having me, and hope it goes well.
What an episode, man. I enjoyed that.
Good.
Thank you, Jay.
Find it interesting.
Tell your missus not to shout at me too much.
Was she shouting at you?
No, I mean about you being here.
Oh yeah. No, it was. As soon as I mentioned it was yours, it was all
good.
Yeah, all sorted.
I want you back on the 26th after the night out.
Yeah.
Perfect.